Square Term 3 Revision of 10 Advanced Mock Exam, the one that you did in Swift Assess with the 10 questions. Let's start by the first question. Aisha Jum'a, can you read the question?
Simplify this expression. X squared minus y squared over y divided by x plus y over 6y squared.
Great. So actually, when he put this division, he would like to help you. Otherwise, another term or another form to write this, it will be x squared minus y squared over y. Then he will be making a big division line for you, and he will be writing the other, x plus y over 6y squared. So he made it easy for you, and he removed the division line, he put the division. So what will be the first step here? What shall I do?
We have to make it multiplication by flipping the second.
The second one. Am I going to do anything with the first one?
No, we will keep it the same.
So I will be keeping the first term the same. And my second term, I will be taking the reciprocal. Flip it. Now, on a side, let's revise important things. Whenever you are having a form of a squared minus b squared, which I call with difference of squares, I can simplify it to be a plus b and a minus b. So this is what we will be applying on. So instead this big multiplication, someone can think it x, so you can just put the dot. I just put it to modify or to clarify that instead of division, you should put multiplication with the reciprocal. So x squared minus y squared. How can I simplify it now, applying the difference of two squares? What it will be now?
X minus y between square, x plus y between square.
Do I call this square?
No, multiplication.
Brackets. Thank you, Marwa. Pay attention. Aisha, this is the square. Okay? So x plus y over y, 6y squared over x plus y. Now tell me, how can I simplify this further? What can I do?
We will cancel x plus y.
X plus y,
Up and down.
cancel. Up and down. What else?
Y.
Do I have any similarity? The y. طيب, if I cancel this y, I will be having 1. If I cancel this y, what will be remaining for me?
Y.
1y, and don't forget the 6. So 6y. Now, let's multiply the numerators by each other. Don't forget, when you cancel this, it will be 1. So that means if you multiply the numerators by each other, it would be 6y multiplied by x minus y between brackets. That's it. Which is the last choice. Can I move to the other question?
Yes.
Now, identify the asymptotes. Identifying the asymptotes can be done using two ways, whether the graph itself or the given equation. So since we are given the graph, always think of using the graph first. Then you can check using the given equation. So if I'm having a graph, always to identify the asymptotes, you are having two types: vertical and horizontal. طيب,
We'll
we
see the
took a
intercept.
third. Excellent. So we took a third type, which is the oblique asymptote. And we have discussed previously that if there is horizontal asymptote, then there is no oblique asymptote. So please revise the asymptotes lesson. Now, if I would like to use the graph, so I would like to look at the behavior of the function. So I would like to search at a horizontal line, which will be having two arrows against each other. So what will be the horizontal asymptote? Let's search for a horizontal line where your behavior of the function are opposite to each other. What about this line? Let's study the behavior of this function. On this horizontal line, my function moved here to infinity and here to minus infinity. That means the behavior of the function changed. That means my horizontal asymptote will be a constant function of y equal a number. And this number will be the same as the number that my line, which I would like to draw it, would be intersecting with. That means y is equal to 4. Now let's go to the vertical asymptote. So any vertical asymptote will be a constant function of x is equal to a constant value. Also, I need to look at a vertical line where the behavior of my function will be changing. So can you tell me now, what will be this line? What is the vertical line that I will be having a changing in the behavior?
Will be 6.
6, excellent. So let's draw here. That means if I study the behavior of this function, here it will be moving to plus infinity, here it will be moving to minus infinity. That means let me put here the word horizontal and here vertical. So my vertical asymptote will be as a function of x is equal to 6. So mainly our answer is y equal to 4, x is equal to 6. Which choice is this?
The third.
The third one. X is equal to 6, y is equal to 4. So all of this was using the graph. What if he is not giving you the graph? What if he only gave you the function? F of x 2 over x minus 6 plus 4. So you need to understand that whenever you are given a function, always your vertical asymptote will be making the denominator equal to 0. So if you made the denominator equal to 0, then you will be finding your vertical asymptote. So x minus 6 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 6. Done. And your horizontal asymptote will be your vertical shift with its sign. So here is your horizontal asymptote. Y is equal to 4. So using this, you can know how can you find each of them. That's it, ladies. Now, let's move to the other question. Now, he would like me to solve this equation 2 over r plus 3 plus half equal 9 over 10. What shall I do here? How can I solve this equation? What will be the easiest thing? Yalla ladies, tell me what you did in the exam. Whether was it right or wrong. We will help each other.
We will subtract 1 over 2 in the both sides.
Excellent. So let's start with you. I will be subtracting 1 over 2 in both sides. So let's write it again. 2 over r plus 3. It was plus 1 over 2. Then 9 over 10. Then what did I do? I subtracted half each side, which lead me here to 0. So 2 plus, 2 over r plus 3 equal to, can you find this?
2 over 5.
2 over 5. Now, how can you do? How can you find r? What you will be using? What will be the method?
Cross product.
Cross product. Excellent. So, can you tell me what shall I write?
2 multiplied by 5.
Good.
Is equal 2.
2 bracket r plus 3.
And I like the sentence that Marwa have said. Whenever you are having algebraic expression, you need to put brackets. Now, how can you solve this?
10 is equal. We will make distributive property.
Great.
2r.
Then?
6 minus 6.
Good.
Minus 6 minus 6.
4.
We will have 4.
Equal to r.
We will divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
R is equal to.
Done. Which choice is this?
The third one.
The third one. Now, how can I check if I would like to check?
We will substitute by 2 in the r.
Excellent. So, if you would like to check your answers, you can just, because sometimes you will be having extraneous solution. So, check 2 over 2 plus 3 plus 1 over 2. Is it equal to 9 over 10? So, in our case, yes, it will be equal to each other. So pay attention. Here all of them are numbers, but what if one of the multiple choice was no solution? You need to check to make sure is it a solution or not. Now let's go to the other question. Now this question is really important. He's referring to chapter 9, lesson 4 in the part of point of discontinuity, which we took previously, and we were discussing previously that whenever you are having f of x is equal to a polynomial divided by another polynomial, always you need to exclude, and we have discussed this, we need to exclude the zeros of the denominator from the domain. So b of x must not equal to 0 if I want it to be defined. That means my point of discontinuity will be using a factor of x minus c. That means x is equal to c is my point of discontinuity. And sometimes it will be having a polynomial that is simplified using the other one in the denominator, and you can cancel them out. So let's have a look what will be the question. Determine the value of x that represents a hole in the graph. So pay attention. Previously, we took the definition of the point of discontinuity, and if you remember, when we graphed it, I just simplified it to you with one word. I told you that you will be having here a gap, an open point. So, let's now have a look at the given function, f of x squared plus 6x plus 5. Can I simplify this further?
Yes.
How can I simplify it? How can I write it into roots? X squared plus 6x plus 5. Factorize it for me.
X squared plus 5x. Oh, yes, x plus 5 and x plus 1.
X plus 5
And x plus 1.
and x plus 1. Excellent.
I was telling you the steps.
No problem. No problem. Now, anyone would like me to repeat the steps of how can I get the factorization of a quadratic function? Anyone
No.
who's lost? Okay. So, x plus 1, x plus 5 over x plus 5. Now, pay attention to the point that we will be deleting. I will be having a point that is similar up and down, right? This is what I call it with the hole. Whenever you are having a zero that you can get rid of it, it will be showing it to you as a hole in your graph. So here I'm having these similars, so I can graph my function to be x plus 1, but I need to exclude x minus 5. So if I would like to draw this, let me like simplify it and draw it for you. Just 1 second. If I would like to draw it in a hurry for you, so here will be, let me just make the axis. If I would like to draw x plus 1, then it will be having here point 0 and 1, and another intercept minus 1 and 0, and it will be having a line. It will be having a line like this. But pay attention, I'm having a hole. So that means how my graph will be, yes, it will be having arrow up, but down. I will wait until I reach, for example, let's assume that here is my minus 5, and it will be having a hole at this point. So here is my graph. And let's continue. So it will be having a line like this. This is the meaning of the point of discontinuity. I know he did not ask you to draw, but I would like to sketch it for you so you can understand what is the meaning of the whole and what is the meaning of the point of discontinuity. So from the beginning, any point of discontinuity can be the factor that you will be cancelling out up and down. So it is the factor that x minus c, and it is x is equal to c. So the value of c, it is minus 5. So you can make the denominator equal to 0 to exclude the value of the one that is making for you point of discontinuity. Anyone who is lost in this question?
No.
Shall I move on?
No.
Yes.
Now, let's move on to the other question. Let's have Marwa to read for us.
If y varies inversely as x and y is equal minus 3 when x is equal 9, find y when x is equal 81.
Good. Now, ladies, he gave you the keyword. Thank you so much, Marwa. He gave you the keyword. If y varies inversely as x. So let's write it here. Y varies inversely with x. That means mainly our relation is not anymore y equal kx. It is y equal k over x. Pay attention. The direct variation was y equal, because y is proportionally with x, so y equal kx. But the inversely is different. That means each k will be equal to x multiplied by y. So I'm trying to derive the equation for you. Now I'm having one unknown and two relations. That means I need to keep my k the same and to have x1, y1, k to be x2, y2. Now to solve my inversely proportional or my inverse variation problem, I need to make k are equal to each other. With this, I will be returning to the relation of the inverse variation x1. Yes,
y1
Marwa?
x1 y1
Equal.
equal to x2 y2.
Excellent. So this is the relationship for the inverse variation. What about the direct variation? K will be equal to what?
xy.
Pay attention, the direct variation.
Y over
K
x.
is equal to what? Y over x. Excellent. I'm trying to make a comparison for you so you can know the difference between the inverse variation and the direct variation. So now make K are equal to each other. So this is 1, 1. This is 2 and 2, which will be giving you directly y1 over x1 equal y2 over x2. So please know the difference. This is only for direct variation, and this is only for inverse variation. And remember, we took the complex variation whenever you are having 3 parameters. So let's now substitute on the given to find the unknown. So what will be your x1?
9.
9. What will be your y1?
Minus 3.
Equal. What will be your x2?
81.
What will be your y2?
We don't know.
We don't know it. I need to find it. Solve this equation for y2. and get me the value of y2.
minus 1 over 3.
Excellent. That's it. Now let's move to the other question. This question is really important. Find the area of the triangle, and he's giving you a triangle, 2 sides only and 1 angle. Which lesson is this? Can anyone remember? How can I find the area of a triangle given 2 sides and 1 angle? Type. Let me remind you. Yes, can you tell me?
We will use the area of a triangle equation is
Mm-hmm.
equal 1.5 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height.
Good. Do you have the base? Do you have the height?
Yes.
Where are they? So, do you think that these are the base and the height?
No.
So, then
we will use the law of
Cosine.
cosine.
the law of cosine. طيب, let's discuss the law of cosine and what it will be beneficial for us. So, the law of cosine, we have discussed previously that it is only SAS and SSS. Excellent, it is SAS. But ladies, what he's asking me to find? So the SAS or SSS, you will find whether missing side or missing angle. طيب, what he's asking me to find the area. Are you going to use the cosine law to find each of them? You forgot one important equation that is derived from the triangle equation, which is, we took it at the beginning of the lesson of law of sines. A is equal, we will keep the half. We will be multiplying the sides by each other. So, of course, this side, each corresponding, this is C, and this side the corresponding of it B. That means half B C, we will multiply the sides by each other, sine the given angle between them. Please remember this law. It is really important. It will save your time. Instead of finding each side, you will be just substituting. A is equal half B, which is 16, C, which is 20, sine 30. Use your calculator, substitute, and give me the answer.
80 meters square.
80 meters squared. So which choice is this?
The first.
The first one. So please remember this rule. It will be at the beginning of chapter 11. If I'm not wrong, I think it will be lesson 4. But please refer to the lesson of law of sines. It will be at the beginning of this lesson, if I'm not wrong. So let's have a look here. Very easy question, ladies. Find the value of x. each time he is giving you this question, have a look at the given angle and think what are the relationships between this angle and the given sides. So
We have the
what?
adjacent and the
Good.
news. So
So let me hear you again, Marwa. You told me you have the adjacent. Where is the adjacent?
X.
X.
So X.
And the hypotenuse is 14.
طيب, let me ask you a question. Whether you or Aisha or whoever can answer me. You told me that the adjacent is X. Why you didn't tell me that it is 14? Why it is not 14? So you told me that this is the adjacent and this is the hypotenuse. Why? Why it is not the opposite?
Because the longest is hypotenuse.
Excellent. This is the first one. What is the other proof? Always the side that is against to the right angle, it is my hypotenuse. So, which trigonometric ratio can help me to solve this?
Cosine.
I'm having two different answers. To solve this, let's put our rule in front of us. So this is for the main trigonometric ratio, and you already know that
Yes, Miss
the
Cosine.
reciprocal of sine theta is what?
Opposite
over the hypotenuse.
Listen to my question. What is the reciprocal?
Cosecant.
Excellent. What is the reciprocal of the cosine theta?
Secant.
What is the reciprocal of tan theta?
Cotan.
Tan theta. And here it is only talking about the main function. Here is my sine theta. Here is my cosine theta. Here is my tan theta. So you told me that it is cosine, and another one told me that it is tan. So what do you think? Is it cosine or tan?
Cosine, because we have the
Cosine.
adjacent and hypotenuse.
So Marwa, you can only solve for the tan if you are having both opposite and adjacent. Okay? So here adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's have a look. Cosine 60 is equal to x over 14. Solve for x now. How can you solve for x?
Multiplied by 14, multiplied by 14, and the answer is 7.
Good. The answer is 7. Excellent. Which choice is this?
The second
one.
Good. Now let's have a look at the other question. Find the exact value of 240. Whenever he's asking you to find the exact value, please make sure that if you used your calculator, you should not answer with points. So keep your square root. Okay, keep the radicals. Yalla, let's have a look. Now, I will be giving it to you using two ways. The first way is the longest way. Way 1. Cosine 240. Think of two angles. If you added them or you subtracted them from the special angles in the unit circle, that will be giving you 240. يلا. Two angles, added them, subtract them, will give you 240. Think of them. You can look at your unit circle. Someone can put it in the chat if you would like.
120 plus 120.
120 plus 120. This could be one of the solutions. What else?
$150 plus 90.
Great. So let me write all your choices. What else? I want to see, ladies, how you are thinking. So please, all of you try to think. How can I get 240? What about the 360? $360 minus what? It will be giving
90.
you 200. Minus 90?
Yes.
120.
Excellent. Pay attention, Aisha. Minus 90 will be giving you 270. So minus 120. So you are having so many choices that you can already use, and all of them are belonging to the sum and difference. This way, by the way, let me tell you something. Yeah, Salama, when you told me 120 plus 120, by the way, this can be turned to double angle. That means this can be written as 2 multiplied by 120, and it can be solved by the double angle identities. The rest are sum and difference. So let's use the last one, since it is the nearest. Cosine 360 minus 120. Now, ladies, pay attention to the cosine law, or the cosine subtraction and addition identities. What will happen to the sign whenever I'm having a cosine sum and difference identities? Is it going to change or the same?
Change.
Change. Excellent. Remember, sine. The sign will not change, but the cosine will be changing. So if I'm having here minus, then I will be putting plus. Then let's have a look. My cosine identity will take, this is A, this is B. Cosine the first, cosine the second. Sine the first, sine the second. Now I want you to use your calculator. What is cosine 360?
1.
1. What is cosine 120?
Minus 1.5.
What is sine 360?
0.
What is sine 120?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Perfect. Now, ladies, let me ask you, how can I simplify this? Shall I take minus 1 over 2 plus square root of 3 plus 2?
No, we have 0, so 0 will cancel the square root of 3 over.
Excellent, excellent. A common mistake you will find people making -1/2 plus square root of 3/2, and they will forget that I'm having multiplication here, and the 0 will be cancelling everything for me. So ladies, don't do this mistake. Here it will be cancelled out, and your answer will be 1 multiplied by -1/2, which will be giving you -1/2 directly, which will be the second choice. طيب, this is way 1, which is the longest way, the way that you can understand with it. Some students may take the answer directly from the calculator. So go to the calculator, get me cosine 240.
-1/2.
So, did you now understand the way? So this is way 2 using the calculator. But you will see in the other exam that not always your calculator will be giving you the exact value, especially if you are having a square root. So we will see, inshallah, in the other exam how this will be different. Let's go to the other question now. Find the length of the arc, and I can remember that one of the groups had this question exactly as it is. So it was like from the questions from the last from check understanding, I think, at the end of lesson chapter 10, lesson 9. So let's have a look here. And let's revise together. How can I find the length of the arc? So the length of the arc, this semester we took it as S is equal, which is length of arc, to be R multiplied by theta. And let's pay attention now to the required. My R is my radius. So if you are given the diameter, you need to divide it by 2. Your theta need to be in radian. So if you are given the degree, you need to change it. So let's have a look. Am I given my theta in radian?
Yes.
Good. Now, am I given the radius?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Now, before you start solving, I want you to have a look carefully. Which arc he wants you to find? First of all, look at the given part, which is colored in a bold color. This is the arc that he would like you to find. So before solving, make sure that the angle is corresponding to this arc. Because if it is the other arc, you need to subtract the angle. Okay, ladies? Again, pay attention. If he is asking you to find this arc, then you need to take 2 pi, which is 360, minus the given angle. This is only if required this arc. Okay, ladies, so I will be deleting it for now because it is not required. It is only an information for you. Now let's have a look. How can I calculate? It will be only direct substitution. S is equal 27 multiplied by 10 pi over 9. Calculate it and tell me what is S.
30 pi m meter.
Which answer is this?
The third one.
Good. So I want you to pay attention. The m that he is putting for you, it is a unit. Okay, ladies? So m, it is unit. Not m inside the solution. It is not a variable. Okay, ladies? Yeah, let's have a look now at the last question in the mock exam. which expression is equivalent to cosine pi over 2 plus theta? So he would like you to simplify it to see what will be equivalent to this expression. So again, I will be solving it with you using two ways. Way one. Let's have a look what is way one. Cosine pi over 2 plus theta. We just discussed the cosine sum and difference identity. And we just say that the cosine will be changing the signs. So it will be turned out to minus. And now let's have a look. You need to remember the sum and difference for cosine will be cosine, cosine, sine, sine. So let's imagine this is A, this is B. Cosine the first, cosine the second. Sine the first, sine the second. And now let's find it using your calculator. And please remember to use your calculator in radians if it is required. So what is cosine pi over 2? Yes, ladies? What is my cosine? 0. Excellent. Now what is my sine pi over 2?
1.
1. Excellent. Now multiplied by sine theta. So let's have a look here.
We will cancel out.
Excellent. Don't forget to cancel out this. It is multiplied by each other, so cancel this. So my answer is minus 1 multiplied by minus theta. So this is minus sine theta. This is my answer. طيب, what is the other way? The other way will be using your co-function identity. And this is there in your summary. Let me show it to you here if I can get it. So here, the summary of the identities. Let's have a look. The co-function identities. So whenever I'm having cosine pi over 2 minus theta, I was having sine theta. Now he is putting plus. So remember, you will be changing always the sign. So you can understand it whether from the co-function or whether from solving. So cosine pi over 2 minus theta was all about sine theta. But pay attention, now I changed the sign, so the sign outside will be changing. That is the last question in the mock exam. I wish you all the best, and I hope that the exam, inshallah, will be easy on you. And wait for me in other video for the final exam.